Do do do, theme song. Do do do, I'm broke so this is my theme song. Do do do, just imagine this is an awesome theme song. Do do, theme song. Hello folks, just a quick note from future me. When I set out to make this video, the intention was for it to be a funny rage, kind of lighthearted feel to it. However, towards the end of the video, I went off script. And while I've known for a long time the lie Canada is, with all the news this past week, it swept over me and I broke down. After talking it out with my producer and friend Bev, we decided we would keep it as is. So any cuts you may see, it's just me if there was a long gap. Other than that, it won't be censored. So there will be a drastic change in the tone of the video, and I just wanted to give you that warning. So please enjoy the first part, and the second part, there's nothing I can say. Hello, welcome to Left of the Box. I'm Sandy. I hope you like my new logo. I wasn't sure I could design it the way I wanted, but I did it anyway, and it turned out the way I wanted. Hopefully at some point the self-doubt of what I can do before I do it goes away. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this. It will be a while before I get the sign behind me updated to this new logo. I need to wait until Staples is open so I can go in and do in-person shopping and I can print it off. Speaking of which, it will cost me money to print it out. And it would help me a lot if you became a Patreon to help with these small expenses. Link in the description box below. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video, and follow me on Twitter. While I was doing research for my video about strikes across Canada, I came across this nugget, this juicy little template, this moment of rage. And I thought, no, I am not going through this alone. I want you to share in my rage, and together we can get through this. Besides, my rage can be fun. So why do it alone? This is a statement that was sent out by Justin Trudeau on March 11th, 2021. Statement by the Prime Minister to mark 1 year since the World Health Organization declared COVID-19 a pandemic. The Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, today issued the following statement to reflect on the year that has passed since the World Health Organization declared COVID-19 a pandemic. 1 year after the World Health Organization officially declared COVID-19 a pandemic, more than 22,000 Canadian families have lost loved ones. Many people have lost their jobs and businesses. Healthcare and frontline workers have faced great risk and challenge, and all Canadians have made sacrifices to keep others safe and healthy. Sounds about right. Okay. So far, not mad. Today, on this National Day of Observance for COVID-19, we honor every individual who lost their life to this disease, and we stand with the people they loved as they continue to cope with this unimaginable loss. Together, we also recognize all who have been impacted by this pandemic, and we reaffirm our commitment to work as Team Canada to beat this virus. Team Canada. Yeah, that's the vibe I've been getting. Provinces are right there with you. The whole team between getting the vaccines and rolling it out and supporting people. Yeah, I got the team vibe. I got that. Canada was swift to act at the beginning of this pandemic. we were swift to act. The first case was in January, and we didn't lock down to March. Yeah, swift. While Canadians followed public health measures to flatten the curve and protect our frontline healthcare workers and systems, we quickly took action to help save lives and support individuals, families, and businesses through the crisis. With a broad range of measures including the Canadian Emergency Response Benefit and the Canada Emergency Wage Subsidy, we help Canadians put food on the table and employers keep their workers on the payroll. You help put food on the tables of people, unless they were on disability of any sort. You didn't help them at all. Yeah, you really made sure that the money that went out to the employers to subsidize wages, yeah, you made sure that was done properly. Yeah, nobody lost their job over this because of mismanagement. We also worked tirelessly to ensure essential workers had access to the supplies they needed to stay safe and healthy, and we have worked with Indigenous communities to provide the support they needed in these challenging times. For the nurses and the frontline workers, maybe sick days would help. If all essential workers were given sick days, paid sick days, that lasts 2 weeks, the time you tell people to take off if they've been exposed, that would help. And yeah, you've been helping the Indigenous communities, have you? So they must all have clean drinking water to help so that they can wash their hands properly without worrying about toxic materials coming into contact with them and, making sure their infrastructure is properly up to date. You've done that, right? Because that's how you would help. You would make sure that they have clean drinking water and proper infrastructure if you want to help them. Yeah, these challenging times. Together, alongside all orders of government, Indigenous peoples, community organizations, and private sector partners, we quickly worked to use every tool available to protect and support Canadians during this crisis. Guaranteed livable income is a tool. You didn't use that one. Just saying. We also joined forces with our international partners to strengthen global health systems, coordinate response efforts, support vulnerable countries, and help research. Sorry, just one moment. And help researchers develop tests and vaccines. Canada will continue to work with our partners through the G7, the G20, and other international organizations to contribute to a coordinated and science-based response and recovery to support vulnerable countries. Because we can't beat COVID-19 unless we beat it everywhere. Do you know what? Yeah. I found this funny article here from CBC News. Canada shouldn't take vaccine doses from COVAX partnerships, says Canada's former UN envoy. Canada remains the only G7 country to access vaccines from the vaccine sharing program. Yes, it's an inflammatory subtitle from CBC. Not shocking. This time I actually agree with it. Canada's former ambassador to the UN questioned Canada's decision to accept COVID-19 vaccines from the Global Vaccine Sharing Initiative, known as COVAX. We don't need it. We will have doses to do the job, and we're getting them online very quickly, Stephen Lewis told CBC News Network Power and Play Politics Friday. COVAX is a global vaccine sharing initiative jointly coordinated by the World Health Organization, the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Initiatives, and Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance. The program pools funds from wealthier countries that are used not only to buy vaccines for those countries, but also ensure low and middle income countries have access to vaccines as well. Canada will receive 1.9 million doses of the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine from the program by the end of June. We took vaccines from a program meant to help out those other countries you were just talking about. We took them. When we didn't need them, we took them. And do you know what else would really, really help these other countries? Supporting the goddamn TRIPS waiver. Here, look at this map. You see this map right here? You see, look, there's these green check marks, and those check marks are for people that are supporting waiving monopolies for COVID medical tools. And look, what's that? Canada. We don't have a green check. We have a question mark. We have a question mark. We're not sure. We're not sure. The United States, they have a green check mark. It took them a while, but they got one. And yeah, let's see. Who else is wondering if this is a good idea? Oh, Chile. Chile is also wondering. It's us, countries that begin with C. We're very indecisive on this. Oh, and what's this? From CTV News. Canada inches closer to waiving intellectual property rights on vaccines amid political pressure. We inch closer. We're talking about it, but we ain't doing it yet. Ottawa. The federal government is edging closer to waiving intellectual property rights for COVID-19 vaccines as it faces increased pressures from members of parliament of all party stripes. Fielding questions about why Canada hasn't already agreed to support lifting the World Trade Organization's trade-related aspects of intellectual property rights, TRIPS, agreement, as the United States announced on Wednesday, International Trade Minister Mary said Canada would engage in these discussions. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Canada will actively participate in negotiations to waive intellectual property protection, particularly to COVID-19 vaccines. Under the World Trade Organization's TRIPS agreement, we have been a leader in global effort to ensure there is equitable access to successful vaccines, she said in the House of Commons on Thursday. Really? Let's go back to this map. Huh. That's funny. That's still a question mark. You're not a leader with a question mark. You can't be a leader with when we're a question mark. We're not leading. We're not leading on this. In an interview on CTV News, Channel Power's Play on Wednesday, Foreign Affairs Minister Marc Gatineau offered little detail as to where Canada stands on the issue, only saying that the government supports obtaining more vaccines for developing countries, in part through donations to Global Vaccine Sharing Network COVAX. That's the place that we just took almost 2 million doses from. But dozens of MPs from all parties have signed a letter addressed to Prime Minister Justin Trudeau to temporarily waive certain provisions of the TRIPS agreement. Simply, we need to eliminate all potential barriers to the timely access of affordable COVID-19 medical products, including vaccines and medicines, and scale up manufacturing and supply of essential medical products. There is no question that normative intellectual property rights represent a significant potential barrier, reads the letter issued Thursday. So how exactly are we going to beat this everywhere? As we look back on the challenges of this past year and reflect on how far we have come, we must also keep one eye on the road ahead. The largest immunization campaign in our country's history is well underway, and we are on track to have a vaccine available for every Canadian who wants one by September. A vaccine. A vaccine, as in one. But we need 2 doses to be fully vaccinated. But the pandemic isn't over. You don't say. And until all Canadians have access to a safe and effective vaccine, we all need to continue to follow public health advice. That means working from home if you can, keeping 2 meters apart from one another, wearing a mask, and downloading the COVID Alert app. I'm sorry, I didn't realize that was still a thing. The COVID Alert app. Let's see, how are we doing on that? Let's see, this article from Global News, it's from October 2020, so it's not terribly old, and 20 million Canadians still don't have full access to the COVID Alert app. Why? Well, it turns out jurisdiction. It had a lot to do with jurisdiction with the provinces and stuff. You know, that thing that they keep on saying we can't have pharmacare for. But they pushed this through anyway. They spent like $500,000 on this ridiculous app, and yeah. Anyway, how effective is the app? When the government first announced COVID Alert in June, Trudeau said it's up to individual Canadians to decide whether they'll download it. He added that the app will be most effective when as many people as possible are using it. To date, roughly 2.9 million Canadians have downloaded the app, according to government data. That's roughly 8% of the total population and about 10% of all smartphone users. Wow, that was money well spent, but I wonder if there's anything more up to date. Oh, what's this? This is from earlier this month. Was Canada's COVID Alert app a hit or a miss? As of May 25th, it's been downloaded 6,548,411 times? Wait a sec, let's go back. In October, it was 2.9 million. So according to my math, exactly 4,542,000 people have downloaded the app since October. That makes sense. So in the first months of it, nothing, and then sure, maybe provinces opened it up so that they would be allowed to do it. That seems like a very inconsistent jump. I'm not saying I'm questioning the media. Yeah, I am. Anyway. And 33,168 one-time keys have been entered to trigger notifications. Okay. Colin Furness, an expert on infectious disease epidemiology from the University of Toronto, says those numbers are ludicrously low, but not shocking given the design of the app. It's so designed for privacy, it creates a bit of a creepy feel to it. And also, if you get an alert, It doesn't tell you when you were exposed. It doesn't tell you when to get tested. All it does is create stress and basically an alarm that says, be stressed right now, he said in an interview with ctvnews.ca. Be stressed now. It's a little thing that goes off in your pocket to stress you. Yeah, no, I get it. Okay. This isn't that long. I should finish getting through this. Okay. Today, we acknowledge the heavy toll that the global pandemic has taken and continues to take, both here at home and abroad. To date, more than 2.6 million people have died globally from COVID-19, including 22,000 Canadians. They are more than just numbers. They were our mothers, fathers, grandparents, and loved ones. They were our neighbors, friends, and colleagues. We honor their memory and renew our commitment to do whatever it takes, for as long as it takes, to keep people safe and supported through the crisis. Whatever it takes, huh? Guaranteed livable income, paid sick days. How about a coordinated vaccine rollout? Oh, right, jurisdiction. Never mind. Got it. Whatever it takes. We also take this opportunity to thank our frontline workers who have been working tirelessly every single day to keep us safe and healthy. We owe these everyday heroes an immense debt of gratitude, and we will continue to offer the support they need. You know, the reason why I came across this statement was because of the over 100 people that have lost their jobs at a single hotel that you took over for quarantine reasons. People who no longer have an income, benefits, who lost jobs that they had been at for decades. They now have to go back into the workplace market, and maybe if they're lucky, they'll find a job that pays minimum wage, which will be a hell of a lot less than they were making. But you want to thank them. How about thanking them by giving them paid sick days, supporting unions? How about pay increases? You know, no one in Canada should be working for money that doesn't pay the living wage of their area. No one. How about pharmacare for all? That would help. These are things you can do now. The support they need. This is the support we need. Almost done. Okay. Since the first case of this virus was diagnosed in Canada in January 2020, close to 850,000 Canadians have recovered from this terrible disease. But many in communities across the country continue to suffer its effects. We will continue to work together to set Canada and the world on a path to recovery and build back better for everyone. This past year has been difficult, but better days are ahead. We will come out of this pandemic more resilient country in a stronger global community. Tell that to India. Just, you goddamn lying son of a bitch. How dare you do this to your country? You have the ability to do something, to save people, and you chose to do nothing but give these stupid symbolic tweets and messages. They are empty without actions behind it. People are dying because of your inaction. You can do better. You can give the people, us, what we need to get through this, and you are choosing not to. This statement is full of lies. Something you're very good at. But you won't be forever. And you know how right now there's statues being torn down of Sir John A. Macdonald because people now see him for the horrendous person he was? When history looks back to now, and they see your kind words about the people who were suffering during this pandemic, about all the indigenous communities that suffer without clean drinking water or proper infrastructure, the kind words and your thoughts that you sent out when you found out about 215 children in a mass grave at a residential school. And it took you 2-3 days to even order the flags to go to half-mast. Not everyone is seeing past your surface right now. You have a lot of charm, I'll give you that. But history, they will judge you harshly. And any monument, any representation of who you were, will show you for the monster you are. You had a chance to fix this. You had the power to do something. And you made the choice not to. It is on you right now to launch a full investigation into all residential schools to find out how many have mass graves. It is on you to make sure that everyone who has lost their jobs over this pandemic has an income that can support them to live so they aren't worried about how to put food on the table. You were elected to serve the people, and all you ever do is serve your rich buddies. And more people are waking up to this. You're going to go down in history, all right. But you're not going to like what you see. Wow. Sorry, I wasn't planning on that last part. I wasn't planning on talking about that. About the residential schools, but because it's too hard. One school. One. 215 children at one school. 130 of these schools across the country. Everything I knew about this country is a lie. This is not the country I believed it was. Not even close. And it breaks my heart that so many people have suffered in silence. We're not going to let that happen anymore. They deserve a voice. The genocide needs to stop now. It hasn't. It needs to stop now. And everyone still alive who participated in these schools needs to be held to account. It's not too late to get some justice. We need to do this now, before it is too late to get the justice they deserve. And I will not rest. I will not keep quiet. And I will use my tiny, tiny platform that I have to do everything I can to make sure these stories see the light of day. I am not going to participate in the maple washing of Canada. I love my country. I love what this country has done for me. But I cannot be okay with everything this country has done. Because the country I believe in would take responsibility. We need to make sure that country happens. Before you go to vote at the next election, be aware of everything you're voting for. Remember the 130 residential schools across the country and what happened. And remember that the Conservatives and the Liberals, they are the only two parties that have been in power since this country started. Do you really want more of the same? We have other options. It's about time we use it. Okay, I was not planning that. I was thinking this was going to be a nice light video for everyone. Whew, okay. Take a minute. It's a good thing I keep Kleenex near the table, because it gets dusty in here, and sometimes my nose, anyway, it doesn't matter. Before I go, please be sure to hit buttons if you haven't already, and check out Brave New North on YouTube. I was on the show last night with Bothered Boy, and we had a fantastic time talking about the news of the past week. The link will be in the description box below. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Get informed, get involved. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned. I'm Sandy, wishing you tomorrow. I'm Sandy. And I'm sorry tomorrow is too late for too many.